of Super Bowl, let's skip to the last page. I've taken the liberty of writing something spectacular. Wait for it. Wait for it. And...
I did not see this coming.
I know. Just think of the meme.
You got to be built different, baby, fucking with these Cowboys, man. I told you, if you didn't know by now, baby, you got to drink a little something or you got to smoke a little something, baby, because these Cowboys will make you almost damn near have to call 988.
Yes, sir.
And that about sums it up right there. We played like dog shit.
You know, I've got my best friends that I grew up with watching Cowboys games. A lot of them are texting me about coaching, and you know, so I've got to say to myself, I think we got to ask ourselves as fans, how far does coaching go? So let me ask you this: do you think that these wide receivers don't know that they need to get open? Do you think that the running backs don't know that they need to find a lane? That the fucking linemen know that they need to create lanes? All this stuff is there. It's already there, but there's just a big problem with this team when it comes down to crunch time, man. And I didn't want to believe this year we'd be one and done. After the season we just had, the MVP-like season for Dak Prescott, to do what we just did the first 2 quarters of this game was not only embarrassing, but it's just a testament to how bad this team is going to be for as long as Jerry Jones pulls the strings for this team.
Man, let's talk about bigger and better things, man. I guess maybe Super Bowl 58 logo with the purple and the red colors might come true, huh? The Ravens and the Niners, that looks like the NFL script might be paying dividends already in the first round as the Packers, where I heard that last stat, the only team to be a 7 seed to win the first playoff game, and I don't know, 11 years or some shit. But let's go through the numbers, baby. It is time to face the music. Cowboy fans, you got to be built different. Fucking with these Cowboys. I know only the real ones are going to be out. Yeah, we had to have a little intro there because we want to run the haters off. We know they ain't built like this to be able to hang out over here all the time. But we love having y'all here. But I only want to see the real ones. Where the green badges at, baby? It is time to raise the bar. I told you got to be built different fucking with these Cowboys, man. It's 48-32. I mean, pretty embarrassing looking at the stats. I mean, damn, Dallas had 510 yards of offense, but it sure wouldn't have looked like it.
Yeah, that certainly came when they were pulling their starters, and then we started coming back. They started putting starters in because they were like, shit, these guys have a chance to actually win the game. But man, I don't know what happened. We're completely ill prepared for this game, offensively and defensively. Now listen, we can't just sit here and say Dallas sucked without saying how fucking good Green Bay is and how young and fast and urgent they were today, where we was just kind of sitting back saying, what, we're the Cowboys. It felt like we were just strutting without doing anything. So we got to give it to Green Bay, but we also got to wonder, what was the conversations happening between Dak and CD at the beginning of this game? What was all the weird shit? And I know Olsen made it weirder than it actually was, but for us to not perform the way that we got actually stomped out hard today, and there's really no reason for it. I can't find any logical reason why it happened.
Bob, I think our supporter tapping in here, Nicole Craig, might be hitting the nail on the head. I told y'all, postseason traumatic disorder with the Cowboys is real. She said, and this is why us losing, she said, this is why us longtime fans were nervous about this game. Bob, I heard you in the pregame show. I actually came back and watched that.
Yeah, we talked about that. I kept saying how nervous is everybody because I think just like anything else, when we're always nervous because it's our team in the playoffs. But the OGs and the old schoolers are nervous because we know how well we looked this season, but we also know how sometimes these things go down. And again, the perfect storm happened today for us to get our ass whipped, and we definitely took that storm.
I just want to thank all the haters from the other 31 that are here to take time out with us today. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got over 87 folks on this live right now. If you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying the final meltdown of the Cowboys, and this is what you came for here, this is why you're here, baby. And I told y'all, just like this season, y'all going to be back this next season following right here, looking forward again. I mean, you got to begin with the end in mind, and that's why I knew fucking with these Cowboys to have an exit plan when it came to Super Bowl 58. We'll get to that in just a minute. Russell says, look out next season. Disappointed, but still my heart is with my Cowboys. I feel you. It's a bunch of disappointment right now, but I'll tell you, a few years ago, I had to get past that, man. It's hard to really remove your feelings from the Dallas Cowboys, baby. But this is why this page is called Built Different, because you got the now diehard fans. You're going to really find out who are the real diehard fans that really love this team versus the ones that are really just masquerading like they're fans. But we enjoy having all the other 31 here because y'all are just Cowboy fans too, because we live in y'all's head 24/7. Look at them stats on the board, baby. I mean, Jordan Love, Jesus, man. I need love today, Bob. Damn.
Yeah, he was whipping it. He was whipping it real well that first half. Again, we can't take this final score into account at all. Let's just say it was 48-14 because that's really what I think the fucking score should be. We just got our ass whooped and we got some garbage points. But yeah, Jordan Love's and Doubs was absolutely killing us. The first three third down conversions that Doubs got for the Green Bay Packers were all led to them to scoring. We actually had no answer for that guy, and I have no idea why. He was playing his ass off. He had like 150 yards or something. So it was real weird to see, considering that we had the better secondary, they just schemed us, man. That coach out schemed us today, hardcore. And for us to go zone today when we were going man most of the year, I thought was real weird too. So I don't know. That's coaching too.
It just seemed like to me every fucking wide receiver was open today. But look at this. Even Eagle fans know. Look at this. 10,227 days since your last NFC Championship game. That is impressive, everybody. Let's give him a Jason Garrett for keeping the stats here. I told you, if you live here and you don't wear the colors of a Cowboy, then you are simply a Cowboy fan. But welcome to the show. Caitlin bringing in some context for the ladies. Thank you. As we get started, we seen Kelly admin of the day, basically summing it up: undisciplined, unprepared, outcoached, outplayed, 100%. Here comes Caitlin, says, there's no adjustments made from the coaching staff. Players do play the game, but when you see teams like San Fran and Miami did this year, they schemed guys open. LaFleur had his guys wide open. Yes. Is this a case of the young versus the old, Bob? Are we looking at a pivot in direction here with the younger NFL coaches as we get ready to see the Rams and the Lions play right? Sean McVay been one of the most youngest coaches in the league. Now we see the young coach of Shanahan over there in San Fran. There's been, looks like this pivot in the youth in the NFL coaching. Are they really beginning to outcoach the old timers?
It could be. I know this much. I know that youth was on display today in talent. And I know that Gilmore for most of the year was doing great. He probably downplayed how much that shoulder was going to limit him. And he was actually getting his ass waxed all day today. So I think it's always turning into a young person game no matter what. And the Packers are a young ass team. They didn't bother getting too heavy in the draft and stuff like that. But going back to this, some of the things that could have been done, I think honestly, we could have made some moves in free agency, and we could have made some moves on some players to make additions to this team, so we didn't have such a gash with this defensive line getting killed with running backs. I don't understand. I'm really, really honestly, this offseason, if I pay a lot of attention to it, I'm really, really wondering what the hell they're going to do to address that, because we've done nothing to make that position better and to give any help to our defensive tackles. So until that happens, man, Dallas will be a beatable team forever.
Big shout out to all the green badges. If you're tapping in right now, look, you in the gym. This is why you build different. If you got a gym membership, this is where we separate the real from the fake. This is where we separate whether it's on you or in you. If it's in you right now as a Dallas Cowboy fan, I need you to like this video despite the outcome. I need you to share this video, especially as a green badge. Come on, it's time to raise the bar, baby. This is what you got to be built for. You knew it was coming. You know what I mean? You had to have high hopes. But I will tell you, as a creator, it has taught me to really remove my feelings as a Dallas Cowboy fan because of the 29 years now of upset. But shout out to Terrence Plummer. He says, do we bring back Mike McCarthy? Woo, kind of ironic as we talk about the Packers shredding our ass at home. But we got some shredded cheese at home, some good ass home cooking today, did we not, Bob?
Yeah, and we kept Garrett for 10 years basically, because he had some winning seasons in there and had some really good, effects and some outcomes and stuff like that. I'm honestly, man, here's the deal. First of all, none of us have any power over any of this shit right now. So for any of us to get emotional over any of it is absolutely insane. All we can do is sit here as people and watch a TV show unfold in front of our very eyes. And the TV show, we saw the entire season give or take 3 or 4 games, was definitely not the TV show that we were supposed to see today. But then again, the actors didn't show up. They were unprepared to deal with the other actors' roles. So, every year this is kind of weird shit happens. I don't know what the answer is. I'll tell you this. I've been saying it for a long time. My biggest issue with this team will forever be, until it is done, Jerry Jones being the general manager. We don't have a proper hierarchy. We don't have coaches that are willing to battle with general managers and come up with schemes and grow and make a team better. We don't have any of that. We got Jerry calling the shots. And until that changes, this is the way this is going to be until we have a hierarchy.
Big shout out to everybody joining us. We're streaming live on 3 platforms. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube and that platform called X over there where it's getting really business-like. But shout out to Stephen Bailey tapping in with us here today. He says, y'all going to lose all y'all key players. The veterans are going to another team. Look, CD's up for payment. Dak is up for extension. Micah is going to be chomping at the bit. You got veterans. I mean, we have a ton of free agents on this Dallas Cowboys 53-man roster. That is a great point, Stephen. Thank you. I wanted to get to that, but great context there. Man, there is going to be a lot of noise around the Dallas Cowboys this offseason, which begins today.
Yeah, I felt we were underprepared today. I can imagine how the percentage of the fan base today walked into this game saying, dude, we got this. I mean, look, most of us called for 38-24, 34-24, 35-14, 38-17. We had us ahead and only allowing 14 to 20 points for the Green Bay Packers today. So if us as a fan base underestimated this team, I guarantee you the coaches underestimated the scheme and the ability of LaFleur and the coaching staff that they have over at Green Bay. We simply got outclassed and outplayed, but it wasn't just today when that happened. That happened at least 2 games this year, and the last years we've been in the playoffs. We seem to always bring vanilla into the postseason and bring our scheme into the postseason. I don't really know how to correct that.
Man, look, it's got a lot of payments going to be due this offseason. I mean, veterans possibly going to another team. We're getting ready to see the rest of this postseason play out, which is anybody's to grab. If you didn't know the definition of parity before this season, Cowboy fans now know the definition of parity, and it's a bitch, if you ask me. Tanya says, just wish we could keep some consistency. That team was a Super Bowl caliber team. But that's right on point with parity any given Sunday.
Yeah.
It is a tough pill to swallow, y'all. That's why I tell y'all all the time, you got to drink a little something or you got to smoke a little something, and you definitely got to be built different. Fucking with these Cowboy fans. You see all these haters over here. They're the ones that make us popping, baby. And, now I know we're going to hear a bunch of fans come on here today. They're going to be, hey, I wish Jerry would die, and I'm not going to no more Cowboy games, and, I'm not buying no more Cowboy merchandise. Well, I already knew. That's why I said I wasn't going to any games this season until it's the fucking Super Bowl. I feel really bad for all those 90, I don't know how many thousand of fans that went to the AT&T Stadium today and got their heart broke by Jordan Love.
Yeah, Jordan Love was slinging it, man. Young man got the arm on him. And, there's something to be said about youth. And again, we said it in the pregame. We were talking about teams that are like, they don't understand this rivalry that happened in the 90s between the fucking Cowboys. Bro, they were not even alive when that happened. All they're doing is go out there and trying to earn their checks. And today, the Green Bay Packers team wanted their check more than the Cowboys wanted their check.
Dak always fumbles the bag. It's going to be interesting if Dak going to get a bag or not, because I think now his resume was good in the regular season, but as per usual, these same old fucking Cowboys, they always find a way. This bipolar-ass team between Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Hyde, or no, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the right one. I can't always get confused between them. Mr. Hyde came in there and now dominates this personality of this team, which is getting ready to send a bunch of Cowboy fans to 988 tonight. So if you're thinking, bad thoughts for really on a serious tip, if you're having a bad time right now, because I know there's some Cowboy fans literally crying at home right now, if you're thinking about bad things, call 988. This is a serious message, man. You got to be built different fucking with these Cowboys, y'all. You got to be.
Yeah, Mr. Avila out there in Odessa, Texas and him and his family, the Avilas, were texting me as we do every weekend. And he was like, I call that man Dr. Jekyll. You just never know what you're going to get out of him, man. But you know what? I don't know, man. He just look the entire year he didn't play sloppy. Let's not talk shit. Let's not pretend like Dak was looking like garbage all fucking year. All right, he had some bad games. Dak was making impeccable decisions. Everybody in the media for the last 2 weeks were talking about that guy being an MVP. So let everybody pump the brakes on fire Dak and yada yada yada. Come on, man. You don't get to do that. You don't get to swing that in 2 weeks. The situation is that we were ill prepared and got beat by a better team. It sucks, but we need more than 1.5 wide receivers to be out there running routes. Gallup, I'm so happy Gallup actually showed up today. I was talking
here tonight.
I was talking to my wife about that. I was like, I think we need that to happen because we know they're going to try and take CD out of the game, and we know that they're going to be all over. All the wide receivers are going to be taken out, and they were schemed out of the game.
Well, Tiffany's got a great question here, tapping in for the ladies. Thank you for tapping in. If you're watching on 3 of the platforms, do me a favor, leave me a comment. Leave us a comment, rather. We're in the trenches. The first and only postseason show here, fucking with the Cowboys. Couldn't have planned week 2 at home or nothing. Not like we could do that, Bob. You can't count for these Cowboys to really do anything but break your heart. But Tiffany says, and what was the thought process behind the coverage? And I think Bob already answered that question. We just got out-coached. You got out-schemed. You got a younger, more creative coach over there schooling an OG like Mike McCarthy, like you heard Mr. Poole or Mr. Peel, whatever his name is, Key, which one of it is, said, just think of the memes as we revisited the NFL scripted commercial that they showed us in September. I mean, it's giving more truth now to this Super Bowl 58 logo of purple and red like the Ravens and the Niners. I don't know, Bob, who you got now? I know it may be too little early to ask or what?
Yeah, I don't. Here's the deal. Again, I don't. Why is it that? Why would Jerry fire McCarthy after 3 12-win seasons?
Well, he already came out. Now, this is going to get interesting. Great segue. You know, Mike McCarthy got a year left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken, and Jerry had to come back out and walk that back and say, look, you know, he saved, this 36-15 over the last 3 years. He still got 1 more year. However, Jordan Love and Green Bay entered the chat, and now, I don't know, that could be a volatile situation. I think McCarthy might be on the hot seat as Tanya's tapping in here. The ladies tonight says, pass me the blunt. Oh, Lord, she down in Arkansas. Oh, Lord, somebody help Tanya. I'm telling you, you got to be built different fucking with these Cowboys. She said, them Cowboys going to push me to smoke. You got to drink a little something. You got to smoke a little something. Most definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been manning it all year, and all of a sudden now they're like, we're going to go zone, and we're going to screw them up. And all they did was get open the entire time. And I just don't get it, man. I mean, if you're going to play that, I would, because I've seen it a couple games this year where we're like, all right, look, we're going to zone up instead of man. And I guess it's just sort of testing things to see how you do and react. And maybe they reacted well against a couple teams that schemed the way Green Bay schemes. But I don't know why they chose to do it today in a game that was super important for us to continue our season. And they decided to go zone, and we were getting absolutely lit up in zone. Our outside corners are way better in man than they are in zone.
Every time I turned around, it was like another. I was like, how the fuck was he that wide open? Like Bland was getting beat, Gilly was getting fucking torched. I'm like, Gilly's all behind the dude. I'm like, man, come on. John says, BG, do us a favor and cry on the toss show. Look, man. Not behind these Cowboys, baby. That done broke my motherfucking heart too many times, and that's why I came in. You've always got a plan with the end in mind. Look, Super Bowl is still in Las Vegas. Shout out to all of the Green Badgers that are tapping in here. Mike Rock, Park Ranger, all of the Green Badgers, Troy Park, that's going to be headed out to Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58. Look, we get ready to make history out there as Green Badgers. So if you really support this content, if you're really a built different Cowboy fan, do me a favor, just hit that white badge with a heart down there. Help support the content so you can get exclusive access to that. We got about a half a dozen Green Badgers that are going to be out there in Las Vegas together. And speaking of Green Badgers, let's give a quick shout out to our stars leader here. There's been a change. Shout out to Mary Sherry. She is currently leading the Star Challenge for the month of January. As y'all know, the Drew Pearson autograph jersey with COA and 8x10, as you see there, is up for grabs. Sherry's in the clear lead. Shout out to my guy, Mike Rock. These are all Green Badge supporters, by the way. Charlie Alviar, Prototype. Hey, I see that for the ladies, and my guy RC up in AK, which I know he's still going to be in Vegas regardless. So shout out to them Cowboy fans that are going out there to make history, baby, because you got to be built different. You know what I mean? Most Cowboy fans, like right now, this is why I say this is my favorite time of the year. Right now, them Cowboy fans that only got it on them, They taking all their shit and putting it under the bed. They're going to put it in the rafters. They're going to put it in them bins you buy at Walmart. You know, when you walk in them yellow and black bins, they're going to throw all the Cowboy shit in there and put it in the garage. And then as soon as postseason come, you know what I mean? Or maybe the draft, they might pop up. But these are where the real fans that are diehard, that rip the Cowboys come in. This is where you find out those that got them in them. You see, you got to be a different built fan here. You got to have it in you and not just on you. So where are them real diehard green badges at? Shout out to all of the green badges up for the Drew Pearson jersey right there. You see it. We're going to find out who the real ones are in the month of January for the remaining. You know, all the haters here. Hi. We already told y'all, baby. Y'all are fans of the Cowboys if you here. If you tuned in for the final meltdown, baby, guess what? Joke's on you, Jack, because it's going to be our year next year. It's our year until it's not our year, if you know what I mean. And right now it's not our year, but we're going into next season. It's going to be our year again today. You better believe that, baby. Tiffany also says that McCarthy is on the hot seat. Who would be up for consideration? That is a great question.
Yeah, and it's always been that way for me. Where it's like, and I'm not disrespecting whoever asked that question. I didn't see who that was. I just don't give a shit. I don't know that that's the answer. Let me ask you this: when was the last time it was the answer? When was the last time a head coach for the Dallas Cowboys was the fucking answer? It has not been since Jimmy Johnson decided to quit because he was under the thumb of Jerry Jones. It's just not going to happen. We have to find a way to get a talented enough group to not only outplay our referees in the NFL, but to outplay our coaches. Because if the team is better than the coach, the team's going to win. That's just the way it is. And we just haven't had that. And I've seen some teams, I've seen DeMarco Murray teams that were better than our coaching staff. I've seen some Tony Romo teams and with the wide receiver cores that were better than their coaching staff. And they were finding ways to win, but we just not finding ways to win in the postseason, man. And I just don't know when a coach is ever going to be a savior for the Dallas Cowboys ever again.
I think the real question is, and I haven't seen this in the comments yet, is Dan Quinn going to go to Seattle?
I mean, this loss definitely doesn't hurt his chances, you know what I mean? Or not his chances, his desire to possibly take a walk. I don't know. I know that we locked Will McClay, but I thought I saw some fake news that we locked in Dan Quinn again too. But I feel like he has not committed to Dallas yet.
Hey, the noise is very loud up here where the 12s are at, and they're very optimistic about Dan Quinn. They think that's their answers, but boy, because they show talking bad about Pete Carroll up here. Well, if you hear some of the things, if you're a 12 and you're tapping in here right now, you're a Seattle Seahawks fan that follows us up here in the Pacific Northwest, tap in and let us know how you feel about Pete Carroll, because they sure are ushering Dan Quinn back up here. You know, the guy that invented the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, so then I'm just going to ask you this. If Dan Quinn couldn't coach this Dallas Cowboys defense to win this game today, what's he going to do as a head coach for you? I mean, Grant, I understand that he's a great defensive coordinator.
I think they just need a coach. And I think their savior right now is Dan Quinn, because he's the apple that hasn't fallen too far from these evergreen trees up here. You know what I mean? It just makes too much like right. And I think now, that's what I say, it's going to be a lot of distractions coming out of the Stars starting today. And I'm here for it, baby. You got to be built different, and we're going to be tapped in. So if you're one of them diehard Cowboy fans that don't tuck your shit away in the closet in them bins from Walmart under your bed and go to sleep and literally turn off your notifications, if you one of them type of fans that just got it on you, then go on. But if you got it in you, baby, go on and hit that like button, baby. Make sure you tap in here with us, because we're going to stay on point, like my guy Tomas, the Charger fan. Shout out to my guys, the Charger fan. Shout out to the fans of the other 31 that like to keep the football here. My guy Tomas says Bob on point with that one. Bob's been on point pretty much all season. I've been happy to have him here as my co-host, and he's a Green Bay supporter here too. Bob really goes unnoticed as a supporter here, but Bob and I have been long and hard at this right here on Build Different Group since 2016, baby. And we'd like to thank everybody that joined us here for In the Trenches all season long. It was our first prototype season here, so shout out to the prototypers. I know she's on here with us. But we'll be back and improve for next season. But in the meantime, we're going to be bringing that off-season content. And I'm so happy, Bob, because I heard you got some green things going on out there in Colorado.
I do. I've actually almost finished. I've got one more set of videos to put out for the pre-98 Bubble Kush grow that I just harvested. It's done curing. I'm going to do a strain spotlight on my own cannabis pretty soon. And I've got stuff growing right now. So, yes, I'm going to be rolling. I don't stop. I haven't stopped growing indoors since 2020. So, as soon as we got locked down, I decided to start doing it indoors instead of outdoors. And I've been loving it. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of content to do. We're going to have to get the square groupers back up and running. We've got a lot of stuff that's going to be
time to start the boat up, huh? Let me go get the key, baby. We gone fishing. Back on square groupers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
shout out to my guy Mike Rock, local PNW. Y'all know him here, 3-time OG, baby, 3-year supporter right here. He says, we need a real running back. Hey, did you hear that Saquon Barkley is having some problems over there in New York? Woo! Boy, I know Tony Pollard going to be looking for a new home. I don't think the Cowboys are going to pay Pollard any money. What's going to happen with Dowdle? But I think Mike Rock brings up a great point. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Are the Cowboys going to go running back in the draft? Because you know it's never too early to start talking about the draft, which is going to be, shout out to Prototype tapping in here in Detroit, Michigan. That's right. Motor City for the NFL draft coming up at the end of April, 25 to 27. But, yeah, I thought the Saquon Barkley news was interesting. I said, oh, that's going to make interesting for NFC East news.
Well, again, so, you know, the thing is that we have this urgency at the end of the season. We start looking at even especially us season. I'm 50 years old. I'm a seasoned Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm already looking to next season as soon as the first game Tyron Smith missed. So, you know, when we're talking about getting a running back, that's all awesome and everything. And everybody wants a running back. All right. They've obviously been devalued. But more importantly, right now, we need to figure out a way to get this offensive line to be more consistent, because at one point, Tony Pollard was ripping ass through holes in the line because they were being created for him. And at no point in this season have I seen him go off. Today he was doing pretty good, but it's just not a consistent offensive line, and it hasn't been for a while. So I think until we get that shored up, worrying about paying a running back is really sort of futile, because it doesn't really make a difference.
That's what I said. Maybe in the draft, we're probably going to have to be taking a hard look at some of the running backs coming out. Maybe this kid from Michigan that just won, what's his name? Kid had a couple, 2-3 touchdowns in the college championship there. So shout out to all the Michigan fans tapping in. But yeah, Mike Rock says definitely lineman. Park Ranger, what's good, baby? He says our O-line needs to be better to as well as our running game, open up some holes. I mean, Bob, I think you hit it on the head there, too. I think they're going to go. I think the Cowboys are probably going to go. Well, it's going to be too early to really say, because Cowboys still got to extend Dak Prescott. We got to pay CeeDee Lamb, and we got to pay Micah. Boy, I will tell you, I did not see this coming. This offseason is going to be a doozy, Cowboy fans. There's going to be nonstop Mike on the hot seat. Who going to get paid? Mike is going to hold out. We're going to see the fan base divide again. We're going to probably see folks calling CD selfish. They're going to probably be calling the Lions selfish. We know they're going to be calling Dak selfish, baby, because welcome back to the chat. All of the Dak haters, I think that's all 50 of them that are tuning in here right now. The ones that are waiting to tell BG, we told you so. Dak would be one and done. Dak is not that guy. Get rid of Dak.
Oh, listen, if you don't like Dak, you're in for a shocking revelation, because we are about to re-sign him. I guarantee it. We've got him on the hook for 2 more seasons, but he's going to count $60 million next year. So if we don't restructure that guy and re-sign him, we can't pay for those other guys that want money. It's just not going to happen. If you go to under the cap or over the cap, I forgot which one, and check out what our cap room is right now. It's not a lot. We're going to have to make a shitload of room to save our ass to keep those kinds of guys. So I just don't think Dak is going anywhere. He's going to be re-signed for another contract simply because we need to loosen up his money in order to re-sign some people.
It's going to be interesting, man. Dan, I mean, there are so many angles here. Dan Quinn leaving, staying. Mike McCarthy, hot seat, still a year left. Is Jerry going to walk his comments back on his head coach? Jerry is not getting any younger. I mean, is Steven and Jerry getting ready to get into some fit? Because you know Steven like to spin one way and Jerry like to spin another, baby. It's going to be very interesting to see these players. I guarantee you, one, if not all 3 of these Cowboys that are up for payment will hold out to get paid. If you don't believe me, just watch. When is the last time Cowboys have gotten paid and there's been not a fuss?
I mean, we got some things to look forward to. Also, we've got Trayvon Diggs is going to be healthy next year. We'll have DeMarvion Overshown down. We'll have a couple guys that are banged up now that'll probably show up, and we'll do a good job drafting. But I mean, it's going to be a tough thing to overcome this kind of loss right now without someone pointing to a coach or something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if McCarthy's on the hot seat. But if I'm being honest, we need a left tackle. We need maybe another right tackle. We need a middle linebacker, and we need a defensive tackle right now. 911.
Yeah, and speaking of 911, if you are having thoughts, suicidal ideations, if you're having a tough time because of the Cowboys loss, this is not a joke. If you're having a tough time, because I tell you, you got to smoke something, you got to drink something fucking with these Cowboys. I know there's some Cowboy fans right now thinking bad things. If that's you out there, if you know somebody that's thinking bad things, it's not a joke, y'all. This is real business. Call 988. You got to be built different fucking with these Cowboys. As my guy Joseph taps in and says, I am shocked. You are not the only one. You are not the only one. The world has been shocked. The Dallas Cowboys stat quo have showed its face in typical fashion. But, man, the odds were stacked so high. I think Vegas for the win today. I think Vegas really won. The Cowboys were favored by, 7.5. I mean, who put money on the Packers? Anybody on this live here today put money on the Packers? Did you bet anywhere? Let me know. How much did you come up tonight betting against them Cowboys? Oof. Shout out to Robert tapping in. He says both coaches should be fired, and Dak choked once again when you need him to be at least good, if not great. I don't know what the fuck was going on between Dak and CD, bro. And they were talking about it on the broadcast. I'm like, man, how is everybody all like this? Why is this? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? What is this between Dak and CD? Like, this is unnormal. Like, this guy has been on a tear. This looked like the first 5 weeks of the season where Dak couldn't get the ball to a wide receiver in the end zone.
Eventually it fired up on this in the second half. It went back to what it was. It started to look like what it looked like for most of the year. He was getting the ball out to the situation, and I just don't know what it was. Maybe he just didn't prepare enough for the defense he was facing today. But CD started getting open. He started getting catches. He started doing good things. It was just the thing is you just can't do that in the second half of a game when you're behind like that. You got to figure out a way to start real fast. I do not know why today, of all the days, we decide to break a home scoring streak. All the things that we have built since the last season at home were just destroyed today. Simply because we were unprepared.
I can tell you why. This is a conversation nobody really wants to have. But I can tell you real quick. Aaron's got a point here. He says, hey, you fuckheads, I'm not shocked. This is my ball. Is the NFL rigged? I mean, golly, if the Ravens and the Niners go to the Super Bowl, Bob, what's going to be?
I don't bite a lot. I don't bite on a lot of those hooks, man. I just don't do it. But I'll tell you this much. I will say this. I don't remember so many games before the explosion of online gambling that we were talking so much about referees having a problem or having an issue with the outcomes of these games. I don't remember so many referees blowing calls before all that. That's all I can say. I don't have any big theory other than what I see in front of me is as soon as gambling is massive and huge and legalized and pushed by the NFL, all of a sudden referees aren't doing very well at their job. I don't know why.
Ricky Marcus brings in a good point. He says QB and wide receivers should be on the same page on game 18. Yeah, exactly right. That's why I was like, what is this? And then why is the announcers, why are they all this? Everybody's bought into that just that fast as the camera keeps panning to Dak and CD as they look like they're having these unfriendly exchanges. Yeah.
I don't know. Greg Olsen was kind of blowing that up. But, but again, like I'm saying, these referees were affecting every team. It's obviously not the Dallas Cowboys, man. And if Jerry Jones could buy referees, we would have had 50 Super Bowls by now. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just not how that shit goes, man. Overall,
no, I guess Jerry's check, his cash app didn't go through for $1 billion. I told y'all the only way the Cowboys ever gonna win a Super Bowl is if Roger gets a check from Jerry for $1 billion. You know, the Cowboys worth $9 billion. I mean, how do you get a franchise that hasn't been to an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl in 29 years to worth $9 billion? You want to know how? When America's team loses, the world wins, baby. The world wins. The media is winning. All of the alphabet networks are going to be winning tomorrow. Stephen A. Smith is winning right now, doing that funky little sideways turn around the phone and waiting an accident to happen. All of the buffoonery that comes with America's team for this next whole week. It is going to be Cowboys mania in the media, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, what is this with Dak and CD? Like, this is not this is funky, whatever this is. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, it just seemed weird. And to see it actually turn into what it was later on in the game is even fucking weirder. Like, why wasn't this happening in quarter number one? I mean, honestly, it does feel like at some point they started getting stunned as a defense. Like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? And then, you know, instead of getting back their hands back up over their chin, they just kept looking stunned. That was just weird.
Yeah. Hey, Lawrence, it's America's team, baby. You got to get it right. It's America's. I'm glad they didn't put American team. It's America's team. We are always America's team, baby. We were given that name. Get over it. I mean, look at the Steelers with 6 rings. I mean, let me go grab that picture right quick as we talk about this. I got to show this to everybody, baby.
It's too late. Y'all can't change that name, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, he said we're no longer America's team, baby. We are America's team, baby. We all will forever be, baby. That's just how it works. Everybody else want to be y'all heard me say this here before. It's a copycat league. It's a copycat league. Take a look at this, y'all. If you don't believe me, take a look at Exhibit A, the Steelers biting off of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, would you believe this shit, bro? They just renamed their stadium, right? It's Acrisure Stadium now. No longer Heinz or whatever it used to be called.
Wow.
The ketchup stadium or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is, look at this. Look at this right here. Here we go. Are you for real?
Wow.
This is the Steelers announcing their new stadium, Acrisure Stadium. I mean, we are America's team. Everybody else wants to be America's team, baby. That's the difference there, Lawrence. Make sure you attend history class next time.
Actually, Lawrence, if we're going to go even further, considering BG threw this up, the Pittsburgh Steelers were actually approached first to have that moniker on the NFL films, and they passed on it because they didn't want the notoriety.
I want to know we got any Steel City fans up in here. We got any of them black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Where them bumblebees at? Where them Steelers fans at? Y'all got some splaining to do. We got Exhibit A on the board. We're going to shift the team because everybody want to be America's team, but Dallas is the only America's team. And as you look, Exhibit A, they biting the swag, baby, down to the letter. It's amazing, huh, Bob?
Oh, it is.
When the Dallas Cowboys lose, the rest of the world wins, baby. And this is why you got to be built different. A lot of the haters come here every year. Why are you posting about the Cowboys all year long, man? The Cowboys suck. The Cowboys suck, man. Look, man, there's a science and there's a method to what's going on here at Built Different Group. And if you don't know, you just don't know, baby. So keep following. We love it. We love the engagement. We love the fans of the other 31. And like I said, we got one supporting here. Shout out to my guy, Tomas Carrasco. Shout out to all of the Charger fans. At least the Charger fans ain't biting the Cowboys swag. Shout out to my guy, Tomas, Green Bay supporter here. If you're really digging this content, if you really feel you're built different, if you really stay tapped in with your Cowboys, you're not about to be a Homer Simpson and fall in the bush type moment today. I know you got to have a day or two. You got to sleep it off. I know it used to take me about 3 or 4 days every week after the Cowboys lost to get my equilibrium back. You know, between your emotions and how you feel about this team, you know.
That's the only homer you should have. A nice little homer bong.
Like I say, baby, it's either on you or it's in you. And if it's in you, do me a favor, hit that green badge down there like my girl Nicole. Shout out to the ladies that love football, especially them boys. They've been tapping in here tonight. She said, if you're here to talk shit, please know how to spell. Thank you. Tell him, Larry, learn how to spell, Larry. He's an Eagles fan over here. I can't wait till the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
ELGSEA.
Eagle fans, y'all stand the fuck by because the Cowboy season is over with, baby. Ain't no more pressure on me, baby. Well, it never really was any pressure. I mean, if you're a fan base creator like Bob and I, you know these times come and these times go. But if you're built different and you're a fan that's down 10 toes, 365 days a year. Hit that white badge, baby. Join the crowd here. Join Bob and I. We're going to be kicking off some cannabis content this off season. I am excited about that, Bob. You know why? Because the cuffs have been taken off.
Yeah. We are no longer bound.
Yes, we are no longer bound, baby. The green light is on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Again, I don't know, man. I feel like so many people around me don't have situational awareness. They don't have common sense. I'm trying to find a way to make common sense out of what happened today, and I'm just failing. It's just not the product we've seen all season.
It's not in the script, baby. It's not in the script.
Yeah.
And this noise is going to get louder. We've got to address it, Bob.
Yeah.
I know some fans don't want to look at the NFL as being tainted or being fixed, or maybe referees shaping outcomes of games. Like maybe one player doesn't get a call for 48 quarters, and then finally he gets one on the day they lose. You know, it's all in the script, baby. It's all in the script, and that's why you got to be built different, baby. One of these years, Jerry gonna figure it out. Hopefully, will Jerry go to the grave, because y'all know Jerry not getting any younger. I told Jerry, you got to write Roger that check, man. You got to pay for the multitude of sins over the years. We got Jimmy back in the Ring of Honor. We got that black cloud off of us. That was the first step. I didn't think it was all going to happen in one season. I said if it did, the NFL was really smart. I thought they'd be really smart to put the Cowboys in the Super Bowl this year, especially at being a global betting phenomenon. You know, it's the most bet on sporting event in the world. It's going to be televised live. I mean, everybody's going to be there. Yours truly, along with some of the other green badges here. It's going to be history made as the first Super Bowl in the state of Nevada. Now, for all the old heads tapping in here, and I know my Bob can identify with this. I mean, think about this. 10 years ago, betting on the Super Bowl was taboo.
Yeah, you had a guy that had a guy, bro. You had a little card that you filled out. You didn't sign. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was a little underground, but it's open now.
Jerry got to write that check, baby. You got that embarrassment of riches in Frisco, Texas out there worth $9 billion plus. And, you know, Cowboy fans are going to be coming for Jerry this all season. They're not going to no more games. They're not buying no more merchandise. Look, I feel you. I feel you 100%, baby. I'm going to keep it a buck. I feel you. I know this time, these types of games, these things, as all your friends, you have to log out Facebook. You got everybody texting you, everybody calling you, everybody messing with you. You just logging out. You want to grab your blanket and go roll you something up. That's how I tell you, you got to roll something up, baby. You got to drink something or smoke something. And I'm excited, Bob, because we're going to get ready to wrap it up here. We've been live 45 minutes. I think we faced the music today pretty well.
Yeah, I think we did good.
Yeah, I know most fans will be like, I know them motherfuckers ain't finna go live. I cannot wait. But if you waited and you're a fan of the other 31, well, we consider you a Cowboy fan here. We appreciate you joining us and keeping us popping here this season. It's been the first and last postseason in the trenches with Bob and I here. And guess what? Next year, it's our year, baby. You know what I'm saying? Same old thing, right?
Here we go.
Here we go. Next year is our year, baby. And if you're ready and you think so too, do me a favor. Share this green badges. If you joined us here tonight, thank you very much. If you joined us on any of the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and that platform X over there, we appreciate y'all tapping in here. If you gave stars or if you commented, liked, and shared, remember, all stars matter in the month of January. And just a quick snapshot again, if you're tapping in, shout out to Jason Craig Hagan, who won the Jalen Tolbert jersey last month. Yes, sir. Yeah. And then here is the count for the OG jersey here. Mary Sherry is in the lead. So if you gave stars, thank you very much. We appreciate that. If you liked, commented, or shared on this video, we appreciate it very much. Turn on your notifications, baby. It's going to be a juicy offseason, Bob. Any parting words?
Yeah, no, I don't have many things to say right now, man. I'm disappointed, but hey, there's another season. It's going to always be another season, man.
Hey, Bob.
I'm just happy that you and I got a lot of stuff that we got coming up in the future right here. So that's what I'm happy for.
Bob, before we get out of here, can you just say it one time?
What's that?
Can you just say it? You know, the line.
Shit. You got me, man.
It's a new season. It's our year.
That's our year.